Up at the show this week, they propel themselves across the unpredictable waves at 80 miles an hour. Flying by the seat of the pants, they call it. Mad, absolutely mad. England, the superb West Country resorts, together with 650 miles of varied and spectacular coastline, have long been a great attraction for tourists from both home and away. Cornwall in particular is quite unrivaled, from the rugged north coast awash with Atlantic breakers to the less dramatic but no less beautiful south coast here, peppered with picturesque fishing ports and many an old tale of skullduggerous and treacherous goings-on. This is St Austell, 20 miles east of the county town Truro, and host to OCR for the 6th round of the National Offshore Circuit Racing Championships. Well, it's an interesting championship, so let's have a look at the tables so far, starting with A. Good form for the 93 champions Nick Barsh and Peter Anstis. Comparative rookies Andy and Graham Gittings also doing well, but not so good for last year's champions. B is closer with Stuart Attlee and Mark Graham, just 5 up on the Archers and 11 up on Sanderson and Scott. Remember, it's 9 for a win. And in C, Sharon Attlee, C49, still leads husband Ian Attlee in C64, but the gap just now 3 points. Well, he'll have to get his act together. I mean, how can you go down to the pub and say, my wife beat me at powerboating again today? Well, he has to. So another big fleet then for OCR, particularly in the A division. That's up to 2 litre. And it's a tough season too, as the 94 bronze medalists are finding out.
The opposition got extremely quick. We've gained a little bit of speed, but everyone else seems to gain a lot more. We're struggling.
Julian? Yeah, as I say, there's new boats coming to it. Seem to be going very, very well indeed. As Dave said, we've stood still. Everyone seems to progress, so stage things are going to change, I think.
There's very little between these top 10 now, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. It all comes down to a bit of luck on the day and the preparation you put in. We put in a lot of hours, but we don't seem to be getting results at the moment. But as I say, I think today might change a little bit.
And as we saw from the scoreboard, even the 94 champion isn't exempt from the growing armada of competition. He's well aware the chips are well and truly down in 1995.
It'll be all out, no holds barred. We're going to try and win today.
But at the end of the season, as I said, these thirds are going to be invaluable, though, aren't they? Whatever.
They will. I mean, I can't see anyone walking away and getting lots and lots of wins. At the moment, we're suffering because of the flat weather. We need rougher courses, and we just don't perform in the flat courses. So hopefully today we can get a bit of luck, maybe, and help us along.
It's starting to blow up a bit. Is it going to be enough, do you think?
No, I don't think so. Looking at it now, it's still very flat, but we're still quietly confident. We've done some alterations to the boat. We should have gained a little bit more speed in the flat, which we're hoping will pay off today.
For 93 champions, Barsh and Anstis, it's a crucial race. However, leading the championship by 12 points and the advantage of home water will surely ease their pressure a bit. Less seriously, in the B division, Ian Sanderson has discovered the clever use of a lump of wood might just give him the edge.
Well, Ian Sanderson, first it's a pair of pliers, it's a lump hammer, now it's a lump of wood. Can you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, we've discovered a secret that the opposition are using 4x2s, and we've been using 4x1s, so we're going 4x2 this time.
Now, how would a piece of 4x2 actually make the boat go faster?
Well, we're going to throw it out before we start and it'll lighten the boat. It's a very serious piece of tuning. As you can hear, it sounds beautiful.
Seriously, let's talk about today's race. You've got a little bit of catching up to do in the championship. Can you do anything about that today?
Well, the 4x2 is the secret, so I think the answer is yes. We can definitely... We've gained 100 revs with our 4x2, and I think today we'll catch them, and within laps you'll see that we're going to be streets ahead of them. On the first lap, Paul's going to jump out. He's got his snorkel and goggles with him today, so he's going to disappear. I'll do the race, and on the last lap, stop, pick him up. There we are, home and dry.
Yeah, and is that legal?
Sorry?
Is it legal?
So your name is,
So Sanderson ever the joker off the water, but behind the wheel on the water, he's a serious contender, I can tell you. So they're all on the way to the line then, a total of 30 boats, and as I said, a big turnout here. But they're not all here. Last week's round in Dunoon, as you may well recall, was far from flat. One or two paid the price, and for one, it was the ultimate price. First to exit was Reader. And that little exercise caused considerable structural damage to the boat, but it could have been a lot worse. He hasn't made it, however. Neither has Graham Hastings. He's still drying out. No damage to the boat, although co-driver Jeff Wood managed to rearrange his hooter. Derek Basham unfortunately paid the ultimate price. He hasn't found his boat yet. Barsh is here, as we know, but he may not have been. This aerial display wasn't part of his race strategy. And finally, Mick Archer almost lost his boat. Lucky that hole was above the waterline. Anyway, that was last week, round 5. This is the 6th round, and they're on their way. And this, the most spectacular part of any powerboat occasion, thundering off the start. Line abreast, adrenaline flowing, each but with one objective, a clear run into Mark 1, away from the spray and the confused washes behind. It really does make life that little bit more bearable. And for most of the crews, ahead lies 16 laps of the tiny 3.1 mile circuit here. 49.6 miles is the target, and that should take around 44 minutes for the lead boats. Racing in 3 divisions, up to 2 litre, that's A class, up to 1.8 litre, that's B class, and up to 1.3 litre, that's C. So, 9 points for a win, 6 for a second, 4 for a third, 3 for a fourth, 2 for a fifth, and just 1 for sixth. Into the first mark. Oh, and the first mistake goes down to Andy Gittins, A38 with that hook. While he led going into the mark from Barsh on his outside, and I think Barsh has got clear there. Certainly Mick Archer is through, Wilcock is through, and Blacker, all the main players. And there is Barsh and Anstis, but is it the lead? Well, it's certainly quick. Ground speed on the helicopter, a fraction over 80 miles an hour here. One, it must be the lead, because there's Archer and Gittings, A38 and A60. And you can see the wash of Barsh in the centre. So it's a dream start for the Cornishman, clear after just 2 minutes. Close up on Gittins there. He was leading, but that mistake cost him dearly. This is Blacker in 4th. Back to Wilcock in 5th, encouraging. Just 3 points and 5 races so far, 94 for the bronze medalist. 97 is 6th. That's Christian Auger. So the battle for 7th behind Auger is Rendell left and Baker right. Back though with Barsh, end of lap 1, 3.1 miles completed. He goes into the chicane at 2 minutes 47 seconds, an average speed of 73.11 miles per hour for Barsh then. That's quick, but the hungry pack still snap, led by Archer. They are 2 now in the chicane. Blacker there, 4th end of lap, 2 minutes 55 for him is 72.57. Needing around a half a mile an hour now to catch Barsh. Slightly less for these. Gittins then trying to pass on the inside here from Power Trucks. Mick Archer, you have to be careful. Colin Bowler says shut the door. Oh, they've shut the door all right there. There was no route through for Gittings, and that is vintage OCR. Right, there's the gap. Halfway mark on lap 2. Archer leaves the door open again. Look how he invites Gittings through. And what a scrap that's going to be. Back to the finishing line, end of lap 1 for B class. And Sanderson's lump of wood obviously not working. That's Attlee in the lead in the Tintorera. There's Sanderson. 2.2 seconds of deficit in time. 0.52 miles per hour the deficit in speed. Attlee at 56.53. Third in B, Mike Andrews finished 2nd at Plymouth and 4th at Burnham. Lies championship 5th. And that's... yes, that's the leader of C. Sharon Attlee ahead of husband Ian by at least 1 place. Led the league by 3 this morning. Could be more tonight. There's the old man with driver Bruce Waltwood. 10 seconds adrift already. Further 7 seconds back. The couple from Jersey, Ricky Studley and Caroline Vallanti, 94 champions. But all eyes are further out in the great battle for 2nd in A. And there it is, and it is a most extraordinary contest. Archer wide on the straights, offering the chance to pass, but then quicker into the mark with a better angle and slams the door. But more importantly, Barsh, who leads the championship by 12 points, is now 12 seconds ahead and pulling away. And he streams towards the end of lap 2. This is almost 82 miles an hour now. And the sort of performance that has seen him crowned 7 times a champion. Look how tight he keeps to those marks. While Blacker's still keeping 4th. Gets out of the combined washes, waiting to pounce should any mistakes come from the battle ahead. Just caught a glimpse of him there. That's the battle. He's around 150 metres down. Now then, is this a change of tactics from Gittings, going wide? I think he'll cut through. At the mark, try and take Patrick's on the inside. Here he comes. Now then, does he have the speed? Well, and the answer to that is yes. Now, surely he's got to be through. Blacker's closing in. And finally, Gittings makes it. Wobbles a bit. And Archer has to make the comeback. Same mark then, 5 seconds behind and still 5th for Wilcock and Abbott. Now then, a year ago, this would be probably good enough for 2nd. 3 years ago, almost certainly it would have been the lead. But not now. On our first look at Robert McCarthy's ring. That's the make of the boat, by the way. This is 6. Could lead to first points of the season for the popular Devonian. He's followed around by Rendell now. Martin and Cameron 2 points from round 1 in pool, their season's haul. Beautifully prepared boat, though. At the sea, too flat for the heavy Phantom. We're back with the Gittings brothers. And there's a wash on his right. Now then, is it Archer's? No! Number 60 still leads number 38. But maybe a change here. He's got the line to keep the power on and cut on the inside as Gittings did. Oh, but not like that. Caught on the wash and almost paid the penalty. Well, that'll surely slow him down a little. Rounds the mark. Oh, and maybe there's the reason. Route blocked by Maltwood, C64. Oh, and here comes Blacker. He's been waiting for 2 laps for the mistake. Now then, can he squeeze something out of this? Gittings, group leader, pulls away again. He gets to the mark, about 100 metres to go. This is Archer, wide again. Here comes Blacker. Right, he's in amongst the back marker traffic, needs to be careful, around 250 to the mark, and much will depend on Archer's attitude here. He could intimidate Blacker by pulling close to him, but few play chicken with the 94 champion, and Blacker here must be favourite, just edging up. Now then, will he make the mark? Oh yes, easily. He moves into 3rd and chases Gittings in 2nd. Barsh is still 1st, so it's still all to play for here in A-class. And we'll take a break. The final laps from St Austell, round 6 of the OCR Championships, in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Offshore Circuit Racing St Austell, where with just 3 laps to go, Nick Barsh and Peter Anstis' number 28 Samsung cameras still dominate the proceedings. And now by a clear 21 seconds over 38, Andy and Graham Gittings. And there they are. They posted a 73.92 on the last lap, but still couldn't match Barsh. He recorded a quickest so far of 74.8. Elsewhere, Sanderson and Scott, B55. Barfar BT lead. 51 Martin Bull, with early leader Stuart Attlee out. And that, once again, is Sharon Attlee, leading C by 14 seconds. And there's husband Ian with Bruce Maltwood, 14 seconds behind, so that looks all over to me. And Ian Attlee looking over his shoulder for C74. That's 51, Martin Bull trying to fend off A20. Mark Greenaway, 9th in A, Bull's 2nd in B. And there is 3rd in C, Belanti and Studley. 1 minute the deficit, facing the 94 champions. They need a miracle now. And another established crew searching for success in this hot 95 season. 6 points in 5 outings gives little comfort to Bob Baker and Kevin Hoare. And there's Barsh, down the home straight for the 14th time he goes. Just over 2 to go then. Gittings though, under threat from Blacker. There's Blacker, screaming along behind him. So a comfortable lead for Barsh, but he could lose a little bit here. Coming to the end of lap. Brian Peedwell in the way, into the chicane, and the newcomer doing well, hopes the championship leader up. Oh, but it's forced wide there. Now the added knowledge of Barsh here will take him on the correct angle to the next mark, I suggest. Here comes Peedwell. Exactly the same engines, no modifications allowed. The advantage in this game, hewn from the experience and dedication over years, and you need plenty of that. 41 under pressure again. This time it's Gittings on the inside who will write the next chapter in Peedwell's book. Gittings still chasing Barsh, and I do believe under the impression he can catch him. 16 seconds he has to make up, though. Well, he has the boat to do it, no question about that. Barsh will admit in a straight line the innovative design of the Hydrolift is infinitely quicker than his trusty Phantom. But this isn't a straight line, and it isn't that flat. That's Blacker still third, but trouble brewing. While he was 1.72 miles per hour down on the last lap, this is definitely slower. And only 4 seconds astern now. Archer threatens to rob him of 4 points. So the problems mount for the 94 champion. And it couldn't get worse. Wilcock has just posted 72.26. So he's on a roll. Auger also still in there. Being chased hard now by Rendell. While A-Class certainly hotting up with just over 1 lap to go. Well, certainly Sanderson's got what he came for in B. Slightly fortunate with Attlee's breakdown, but he no doubt will claim that pressure applied did the trick. Mortwood not quite so lucky. His early pressure on the leader came to nothing. Even so, 6 points is a pretty good haul for the Jersey man. So, back with the lead, and into their final lap go the league leaders, having covered 46.5 of the 49.6 miles required in 41 minutes and 56 seconds. Average speed then, over 69 miles an hour. Behind and gaining, but still trailing and still rock and rolling. Gittings now into the chicane, and that looks to me like Wilcock up to third. Yes, Wilcock's third. Archer, I'm told, has gone back to fourth. That means Blacker is at least fifth, or has gone altogether. Well, there's Archer, so who's next? It's Auger. So for my money, Blacker's out, and the misery continues for the 94, number 1. And into their final lap go the Rendells, 1 minute 52 behind the leader. But 15 seconds ahead of Ian Sterling, another quality driver with just 4 points for the season. Better things surely, though, to come. Behind him, they're still rolling in. That's McCarthy, 8th. The blue boat will be A50. That's Baker, 9th. And I think it's Greenaway in the yellow boat. Yes, Mark Greenaway is 10th. And this is first, less than 2 miles left now, and surely a spectacular home win here for Barsh and Anstis. Still with all the power on, just 2 marks to go. That was 1. The next will take them down the finish straight for the final time. Gittings approaches though. This is his second from last. A gallant attempt here in the latter stages by the number 2 crew of 95, but always just that fraction off the pace. And the locals here ready to record the occasion. The flags are ready, and here they come. A resounding win then in a race they dominated from lap 1, took the lead at the halfway point then, and were never seriously threatened. Well, the applause and the victory salute then from arguably the best known powerboat driver in the country says it all. They've done it all. But in fairness to Andy Gittings, in spite of his comparative inexperience, that was a good fight, and 6 points. Back to the line. It'll be Wilcock, yes, Wilcock who comes in third, followed by Sanderson first in B. But no doubt where the big celebrations will be tonight, they're right here. Number 28, Samsung Cameras, back on course for the title. And little doubt what's been said in that boat. The wife beat the husband again in C and goes off to collect her flag just to make the point. We move on to the scoreboard with confirmation of Barsh and Anstis' performance of the day. Andy Gittings' brave attempt and Dave Wilcock's best of season efforts in third. In B, Ian Sanderson did his championship aspirations no harm at all with his first win of the season. It was also a best for Martin Bull and Mike Andrews, who now emerges as a championship contender. In C, the girls record their third win in 6 outings. For Bruce Mortwood and Ian Attlee, it was silver to go with 2 golds and a bronze. And this was the ever-cautious and modest Nick Barsh.
No, we've been very lucky with the weather, though, in all fairness to the bigger boats. And we did throw our hat into the high-speed corner on the basis that we didn't want to be runner-up to the big boats in the rough and runner-up to the fast boats in the flat. So we did set out, as you can see by the setup on the boat, to go for speed. And the weather's been good to us, so there's a long way to go, though. It's still not in the bag by any means.
A bit of 4x2 before the start of the race, Ian Sanderson, and a number 1 to finish up with.
Yes, very fortunate. The 4x2 certainly helped. And the other thing is, today I was wearing my lucky scarf, which I forgot to wear for the last 2 races. Got to bring along, and today the scarf made all the difference, I think, along with the 4x2.
You sure anything that looks like that could be lucky?
This is the finest tie-rack silk, I'll have you know, Mr. Butler, and a great expense. It used to be a handkerchief, but now it's a scarf.
Good race over 36 early on, wasn't it?
It was good, but he outdrove us in the early stages, and then all we knew that obviously racing is about 2 things, and one of them is staying together. And we did decide at one point during the race that he was bound to break at some point because he pushed it so hard, and we would take it fairly easy at that point.
Certainly had its moments today. While we were still trying to keep up with Stuart, we were right on the limit, and I can see the colour of the sky is definitely blue because we were looking at it several times.
And you can be sure of that. Overall, in an A, it's an impressive 17 points that now separates Bosch from Gittings. But perhaps more importantly, the 93 champion leads the 94 by 29. And in B, Attlee and Graham, in spite of Neil Poix, this time stay ahead. But Sanderson, complete with rag and stick, moves up to 2nd. Husband and wife, the Archers, stay 3rd. And in C, it was 3 this morning, now it's 6. And by the way, Derek Basham's boat was recovered in Dunoon by a friendly trawler. I do like a happy ending. See you next week.